to guide you through this event, where we will talk about the MBA programs here at Corvinus University, different student experiences, and the admissions process. Before we begin, I would like to remind all of you that if you have any questions, please make sure to write them down in the chat, where we will make sure to give answers to all of them during the Q&A session. Now let's get started. So to introduce this event today, we would like to show you this short video about Corvinus University and Budapest.
When one thinks of Budapest, plenty of things may come to mind. The Statue of Liberty, the Parliament, the Danube embankment, the neoclassical facades of tenement blocks. Afternoon coffee, meeting friends in the evening, and waking up early in the morning. Sports and culture, community experiences, and nature. But equally, innovation, scientific life, education, and dynamism shall also come to mind. As far as I'm concerned, this is what Corvinus is all about. A place in the heart of Europe where I can develop, where they pay attention to me and where I am in the focus, where they want to bring out the most and the best in me based on the skills that I have. Where I can grow freely and I can also build international contacts. Because the real opportunity is to look ahead together, be inspired, gain impulses and help each other grow. Students, teachers and researchers alike. We learn to fight, to enjoy the successes and accept temporary setbacks and to restart things several times over if necessary. The questions in all our heads are similar. Where is my place in the world? How can I best exploit my skills? What should I do with my talent? If we can give genuine answers to these questions during university, then we can establish an entire lifetime on them. We are building on these foundations. Find your place in the world. Bring out the best in yourself. Exploit your talent, because greatness is in you. Corvinus.
All right, so hopefully this video gave you an idea of what Corvinus looks like. However, now I have the honor to invite our first guest for today here, Marianne Baker, the head of student recruitment, who will give you a more detailed point of view of Corvinus University and Budapest, which is the city where our university is located. Mari, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Serena, and a very warm welcome to all the participants of our online MBA Open Day today from Corvinus University of Budapest. My name is Marianne Baker, and I am head of student recruitment at the university, and it is my absolute delight to have you here with us today. You will hear from our expert team who will introduce you to our MBA portfolio. You will hear about all the relevant information in relation to admissions criteria, about program content and your prospects following the program. But before I hand over to my colleagues, I also wanted to say just a few words and to give you perhaps 3 good reasons why I feel, as head of student recruitment at the university, that Corvinus University would be the right choice for you. Number 1, the university itself. Put very simply, Corvinus University of Budapest is Hungary's leading university for economics, business, management and social sciences. We provide high quality, high currency European degrees that will be a fantastic investment for your future. The second good reason that I want to give you is the city. Budapest, beyond being breathtakingly beautiful, is also a significant business hub in the region. And when I say the region, I mean Central Eastern Europe. It is home to many businesses, many enterprises, many startups. And beyond being a business hub, it has also been voted as one of the friendliest cities on the continent by students themselves. You can check out the details on our website. We are proud to be located in a city that is so welcoming to students from all around the world. The third reason is the country, Hungary. Hungary has been a member state of the EU since 2004. It is part of the Schengen zone on the continent, which means that it's very easy to travel around the continent, to explore when you come here as international students. We are reputed for being a safe and welcoming country, an affordable country, where you will be able to spread your wings as the future thinkers and leaders for the challenges of our century ahead. And with that, I want to hand you over to our staff. I will hand you back to Serena, who will introduce our next speaker. I wish you a good journey for today and for beyond. All the very
Thank you, Mari, for this amazing introduction. It is true, Budapest is a very vibrant city, and Corvinus is a great university with a great academic life as well. Now we will actually get to the heart of today's event, talking about the MBA program itself. I am honored to invite Kozma Miklos, the program director of the MBA programs at Corvinus University, who will talk about the full-time MBA. Professor, the floor is yours. Thank you for being.
Welcome, everybody. It's a pleasure to see you here in this Open MBA event. I was asked to tell you a few highlights of the program so that you can consider more closely what program you may or may not want to apply for. So I have a few things, okay, I prepared for you today. First of all, you may not know it now, some of you do, some of you don't, that we are an accredited school as an institution, and also the MBA programs are accredited by the Association of MBAs, which is the #1 accreditation for MBA programs in the world. You may not see it now how this matters, but your future employers will know. Okay, so when you think about where to go around the world, it could be like a great point of assessment when you assess your different options, that you choose a program which is accredited. So those people who don't have specific information about Corvinus and Budapest still know the quality of the program accredited by AMBA. Also, we have a ranking which is among the full-time MBA programs. We share the first position in the region that Murray talked about, the Central and Eastern European region, and in the top 50 in Europe. So this is a few words about the external validation of the quality of our program. Okay, second point. Let me share with you a few more details about the program itself. So what will you do if you come to Budapest for the full-time MBA program? Our teaching approach is based on interactive classes. So I ask all my colleagues to make the effort that instead of giving, like a one-way lecture for 1 hour or 90 minutes, they should reach out to the students in the room and ask for their interaction. Why does this matter? Some of you come from countries where this is normal and everybody does that at different levels of the school. Some of you come from different regions and cultures when this is not a traditional way. So this open communication between the teacher and the students and between the students themselves during the classes is normal. It's expected for us, and we do it for a very good reason, because this is what your future employers expect in Europe and also and at global firms. I say this because we did a survey. Every few years, we update the program based on the current expectations of future employers and also through benchmarking with how the MBA programs around the world develop. Another highlight other than interaction is our problem-based focus. So if you come to our classes, we help you solve problems. We don't tell you theories because we're interested in theories and we want you to be interested as well. We tell you things in a way that the class and what you learn can help you solve real problems that you face or will face in your future employment. So problem-based learning is another key word that we put much emphasis on. The third one is standard for all MBAs, but you may not have had the experience to learn about that. So let me emphasize peer learning. So also check the quality of the other students in the program. That's why we have a minimum expectation of 3 years, preferably 5 years of previous work experience before you come to this MBA program. And although this gives you a master's degree, Master in Business Administration, it's like a post-experience master program. So everybody here in the classroom already has experience and ready to share his or her ideas with each other based on the experience they have. We have 4 key topics that across the curriculum are emphasized. Again, these 4 topics are not my favorite topics. Those are the expectations of your future employers. So one of them is solving complex problems. You must be ready to do that. The second is sustainability. No matter where you will work, this will be a problem to solve, the sustainability. The third one is the quantitative skills that are expected in business. Okay, it's nice to talk about business opportunities, but you must be able to quantify them. And the last one is self-development. So everybody in the MBA learns, not just while you are here, but for the rest of your life. And we equip you with tools and methods for you to be able to do that, okay, during and after your studies. Okay, the next thing I'm very proud of, and it's a key part of our MBA program, is called business projects. While most MBA programs around the world have an element of business projects, we have business projects in every single semester from day 1 till the last day of your study with us. Business projects are focused around real-world problems provided by corporate partners of Corvinus and corporate partners of the MBA program more specifically. So there you have the chance to work together with business professionals on things that really matter for them, and not because we want you to learn about these problems, but because we want you to have a go and try and help the company solve those problems. It's a lovely opportunity for you because on one hand, it's an on-the-job training, but also you still have support from great colleagues, teachers, many of them external industry professionals who know how to solve such problems, and they are happy to go and on a weekly basis consult with you and help you along the way. So this is a really practical focus in the program that not only helps you develop your problem-solving skills and business knowledge, but also it helps you build your professional network. Another feature of our MBA program is that you don't write a thesis, because this is not a program that prepares you for your academic career. This helps you for your future business career. So that's why we have, instead of a thesis, a so-called portfolio of learning, where we ask you to document your learning journey in the program, supported by artifacts along the entire program. Okay, so this portfolio assessment is again a contemporary approach that some of the more advanced MBAs apply, Corvinus included. And this takes us to something most of you are really interested in, is like, okay, joining our program, as Murray just said, is an investment. You invest your time and efforts into something that is expected to pay off after graduation. While you learn a lot in the program and make new friends and build relationships, professional and otherwise, the real benefits come after graduation, where you can find your future employment opportunities in Europe or outside Europe. So let me share with you a few tracks of career that our graduates pursue, okay, with the Corvinus degree in their hand. Some of them go back to the country where they came from because they are here to have an up-to-date accredited MBA degree, and this will help them in their current job, in their current business environment, or their own company. Some of them come from their family business and they want to take it to a higher level with this international degree. Another typical track is that they look for employment here in Budapest, that Mari told you is a significant business hub in the region, with companies whose business goes beyond the boundaries of Hungary, but they are headquartered here. We have a number of shared service centers where professionals in the office serve clients from all over the world, from Hungary. They need a lot of non-Hungarians. It's a great advantage if you come from a region where they have businesses to serve, but you have the knowledge and the accredited degree from Hungary, from Europe. So this is a typical track where they can start working right after graduation. And the third one is those who manage to go further on to other European countries or even the USA with the Corvinus degree in their hand. This also depends not only what you study in the classroom, but also your extracurricular activities during the program. That means, okay, other than attending classes, what else do you do? Because if you spend your time outside class hours to build new business relationships, professional relationships in industries of your interest, industries of your choice, then this is a fast track to accelerate your career after graduation. And those who make these efforts, those are the ones who go to, I don't know, just the top of my mind, Scandinavia, Netherlands, USA, just like telling you a few examples from our most recent graduates, where they ended up right after their studies or a couple of years after they received the Corvinus diploma. And to conclude this brief introduction, let me emphasize the international element of the program. The MBA degree, the full-time MBA, is not for Hungarians only. As a matter of fact, as most other European full-time MBA programs, this particularly attracts non-Hungarians, non-domestic students who come here have a career break a year or two, because we have a 1 year and 2 year version of our program, and invest in their future career, and then continue their business life after the full-time MBA program. So we have a very international student body each and every year, and we have an alumni organization that can help you access those students from all over the world who studied here with us in many years before you. So with that conclusion, let me give the word back to Serena.
Thank you so much, Professor. Now, could you please share some information about this brand new 1-year international MBA program?
All right. Thank you, Serena. So the good news is that the new 1-year so-called international MBA program, 90%, it's has the similar focus and emphasis than the 2-year MBA I've told you about. Okay, so I don't need to repeat everything. The real difference is that it's only 1 year, and as a consequence, it's a little bit more intense in terms of your time commitment. So if you come for the 1-year program, you definitely cannot manage even a side job if you study this 1-year program, because we need all your time during that year to invest into the program. Okay, the other side of the story is that it's only 1 year, after which you get a degree which has the same value as the 2-year program, but you did it on a fast track. However, there's a second difference. Of course, if the value of the degree is the same, but you need to achieve it in 1 year, and even if it's more intense, it also means that the entry requirements are higher. So you need to prove more credits learned at your bachelor degree that are relevant for our business program. You need to have more relevant and stronger work experience. And of course, if you come to our admissions interview, you need to show more depth and breadth of your knowledge, your motivation, and experience. So it's harder to get into this program. It's harder to complete it, but there's for this more significant effort, you can get the benefit of a shorter track. We call it International MBA because the normal 2-year full-time MBA is very international. For the 1-year MBA, we put even more emphasis on this. Like we recently initiated online global business case competitions that each and every student of ours have the chance to enter. We expect everybody to enter these competitions so you can measure your knowledge, during your studies against other schools from North America, Western Europe, and Asia. And in the 1-year program, this will be even more intense. And according to our current plans, next year we also introduce an element of in-person participation in some of these competitions for the best students who are selected throughout this intense process. So the international involvement is there in both of the programs. In the 1-year program, it will be even more intense, but the outcomes of the two programs are expected to be the same in a nutshell. So let me give the word back to Serena.
Thank you so much, Professor, for this detailed explanation about the MBA programs. I'm sure that all the people who are currently attending got a lot of information. However, now we would like to look at it in the perspective of our current MBA students. I'm very glad to have today here with us 2 of our MBA students, Daniela and Elias. They will share their experiences, their challenges, their point of view, their success in their programs. And how it's been overall for them here at Corvinus. Daniela and Elias, welcome. Can you please introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your journey at Corvinus?
Hi, I'm Daniela. I'm from South Africa.
And I'm Elias, and I'm from Palestine.
Yeah, we're first-year MBA students at Corvinus. So far, we're loving it. The degree itself is very practical, which is something that was really important for me. And I really enjoy the fact that we have professors, but we also have real life people from real life world experience that also teach us. And we learn a lot of systems and methodologies to apply in the real world in business situations. And our business project, I'm part of a sustainability and recruitment. I know Miklos mentioned earlier that sustainability is really important. And it is really important, and we're doing great research for MOL, which is the biggest oil and gas company in Hungary. So this is where the real world life experience, you get to work with people in really interesting positions, really interesting businesses, and and the class, I think we're 28. Diverse from all over the world. I think my learning is not just from the professors, but also from my colleagues, my peers, who actually I hope to have them as lifelong friends. Budapest. Budapest is probably my favorite city in the world. I really love the city. There's great public transport. It's really a beautiful city to study in. Corvinus is also located along the Duna. It's one of the nicest or prettiest universities here, in my opinion. And I really, really enjoy connecting here and coming to all the classes between the two buildings. The professors are just amazing. I'm really enjoying all my classes.
Thank you, Daniela. Also, from my point of view, the first thing when I came to Budapest, it was something new for me, new experience I'm going to experience. But after that, despite the stress I was in at the beginning, everything went smoothly. Everything was okay. Now we were doing good. I just wanted to go deeper with the things that my colleague Daniela mentioned about the programs and the diversity. It's a good thing to mention that we are 28 students from 18 different countries from 5 continents around the world. And of course, I can define the MBA program as the first step of the practical work in the future. So we learn from each other, different markets around the world. I learned from the African market, Asian, the European, Americans. And other thing that also regarding the business project, it depends on you're passionate in the future. So some students will be interested in the entrepreneurship, innovation, and leadership. And from my point of view as Ilyas, I chose the social sustainability, and we are now dealing with a Hungarian company called Magic Lamp and to big project regarding measuring the impact on this organization. And also I had to mention about the outside activities, because eventually as Ilyas, I used to play basketball back home, and I was like, am I just gonna cut the basketball things? But no, Corvinus already provided a sport center basketball team, and now I'm participating in it. And also, if you don't like basketball or soccer, any outside activities of the university, you can find it, because the sports center provides everything. And good to mention also the student organizations that organize a lot of events that makes the education experience at Corvinus University in Budapest way much interesting. And I think that's from my side at the end. So thank you.
Thank you so much to both of our MBA students. We are so happy for your part of the story that you shared it with us today, so those who are watching can get a student perspective idea. Now we will move on to the next session. At this point, I would like to invite Victoria Bundi from the International Student Recruitment Team. She will give us an overview of the admissions process. So just in a minute, Victoria will be here with us.
Hello, everyone. I'm Victoria. Thank you, Serena, for introducing me. I would like to talk about admission specifically for the MBA programs at Corvinus University, the 2-year and the 1-year program. So here you can see our main building. If you were here at the very beginning, this is the main building where most of the classes take place, but we also opened a brand new campus on the Buda side of the city called the Gellért campus. And as far as I know, many of the courses takes place at that campus, which is a modern building with a sports center. As you heard, we have a lot of sports opportunities, a climbing wall and a gym. But this is all about the casual informations. I would like to dive into the admission process, that how you can actually apply to Corvinus, to the MBA programs, and what's the process you will have to go through. I see you already asked a couple of questions related to admission. I will try to cover most of the things I can, but after my session, there will be a Q&A session where I will answer these questions, and also our program director and our students will help out with certain questions as well. So first of all, everything is online when it comes to application. This is our application platform called Dream Apply. Even if you apply as a self-funded student or as a scholarship student, the platform will look like this, or the layout will be the same, only the colors are going to be different, but how it works is the very same. So here you can see that on the left side, there are all the menus, sub-menus, the task, your programs that you can apply to, the finances, everything. So on this main side, you can see that what program you apply. This is where you can submit your application. There are reminders that you receive messages, or if you have a task to complete. On the top right corner, you can see basically your name, your Dream Apply ID, which can come handy when it comes to any administrative task that you have to handle with the admission office. Also your profile and your settings. On the bottom, you can find the link to this page. You can find it in Google, or you can find it through our webpage. If you go to the full-time MBA, you can straight come to this page and apply. So when you apply, we will ask for certain documents, and this is how it will look like. There will be a list of documents that you need for the application. You will see if something is completed or needs some attention, or if you got any messages. And if you go into these tasks, you will actually see what are the requirements for that certain task. So if you are not sure that how long this document should be, or what is the requirement at this document, I'm sure there will be some sort of description, so make sure to read it. You can upload, you can even leave a comment if you feel like there's something that you would like to add to this document, and you can upload it, or you can even re-upload any document later in the process if you don't have anything on hand at the moment of the application. So this is briefly the website, and here I would like to talk about the path, the application path that you can take. So I'm sure many of you are already heard about the Stipendium Hungaricum or the diaspora scholarships. For this academic year, the upcoming academic year, the application is already closed, but if you still have time, you can apply to this scholarship next year. So those of you who are already applied by 15th of January, now is when the nominations are happening. Most of the countries nominated their students for this scholarship. So make sure to check your profile, your emails, that your sending country sent you some information. If you are lucky to be nominated for the scholarship, then you will have to pass an entrance exam at Corvinus, which will take place in April and or May. It depends on if it's the first program or the second program that you apply to. Our admission office will inform you about everything that you need to know. We also held webinars. So if you apply to the scholarship right now, in the coming weeks we will have another webinar where we go deeper in this process. So if you successfully completed the entrance exam, you will receive the unconditional acceptance letter, and we will also ask you to go through a credit recognition process, which I will talk about later. But if you pass also this stage, you will have the unconditional acceptance letter and the award letter, and you can apply for the visa. On the other hand, if you apply the self-funded student, so you want to finance your studies, you still have time to apply for this upcoming academic year until the 30th of April. On this platform that I showed you. So you fill out your data, upload your documents, pay the application fee, and submit your application. For self-funded students, we have a rolling admission, which means that you can take the entrance exam each month. Right now, since it's March, the next time we will have entrance exam will be in April and May again. But thinking about the following year, if you apply, let's say in December, you can probably take the entrance exam in January. This is a new thing, so I hope you will use this opportunity to secure your spot on this program. If you successfully pass the entrance exam, then we will ask you to pay for the first semester, the tuition fee, and when that's done, the credit recognition will come in again, but after that we will be able to give you the acceptance letter, and if you need to arrange a visa, you can go with the acceptance letter. So briefly, this is how the process looks like. I know it can be intimidating, but probably in the questions there will be something related to that. And you can see on the bottom on the screen, if you have any questions, feel free to message us on this email address, and me and my colleague Saba will answer to these questions. So as I told you, you will have documents to upload, and there are certain requirements when you apply to a university. So first, let's check the self-funded requirements and documents. First of all, you will have to have an undergraduate degree, and you will have to upload your transcripts from the university. We will need your passport, a proof of the paid application fee, which is €75. We will need a motivation letter, and we will need some certificate of 3 years of work experience by the start of the program. So for this year, 2025 September, you will have to have 3 years of work experience. This is what you need if you are a self-financed applicant. On the other hand, if you apply to the scholarship, you will need almost the same documentations, but there will be some extra requirement. You will need some extra references, a medical certificate, and anything else that your country will require. This can be really anything, a language exam, a good GPA, really a lot of things. So I recommend that always check in with the sending partner in your country and ask them that what are the requirements in your case. But you guys, you see, the application is really simple. You only need a few documents to apply. And I also mentioned that there will be an entrance exam to any of our programs when you apply. In case of the MBA programs, you will have to sit an interview with the program director and the board, where they assess your language skills, your background, your motivation, etc. So that is the deciding factor at your admission, not necessarily your future GPA or something like that. Of course, on the interview, you will have to prove yourself for this program. And I also told you about this credit recognition process. What it means that in Hungary, you will have to have a minimum credit completed on your bachelor programs. So you basically you have a fundamental knowledge which will help you to go to the next step on your master's. We use ECTS credits in Hungary. You can find some website where you can calculate your credits. This is an important requirement. Of course, you can come from another field. It not necessarily has to be strictly business. You can come from other field if you have the basic credits. For the 2-year full-time MBA program, this credit requirement is lower than for the 1-year program. So that's also one main difference between the two programs. We always have a minimum credit requirement and a maximum, which can be sometimes different. If you need to sit some extra courses, which we call catch-up courses, you will do that. So you will be on the same credit level as everyone on your program. So there will be, this year it will be a form that you have to fill out. So make sure to check your previous transcripts, your credits, and this one of the MBA programs you are planning to apply to. So briefly, this is what I can tell you about the program requirements admission. So we can go into the Q&A session soon. I will just quickly hand it over to Serena. Thank you. And I'll be back soon.
All right. Thank you so much, Vicky, for the breakdown that you did regarding the admissions process. I'm sure all of the prospective students found this very helpful. However, just a quick reminder, you can always write to this email down here if you have any specific questions, but you can always write in the chat as well if there's anything that we can answer during the Q&A session. So I feel like this event is coming to an end. We just need to hop on at the Q&A session. Just a quick reminder, feel free to check us on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. If you want to keep up with Corvinus Universities, the activities that we're doing, Corvinus Student Life. We will now dive into our questions. I would like to thank a lot all of our guests today. They will also be here during the Q&A session to answer all of your questions, the ones that we have at the chat. Big thanks to all of you for being here. And now I will hand over the floor to our guests and Vicky for the Q&A session.
So hello again. Now we have a bunch of questions. I will try to answer as much as I can. If there are some questions that related to the program or our student can help, I will just pull them in and let them answer to the questions. So here's one of the questions: is the 3 years of work experience, you mean a CV? You will have to upload a CV as well. If you apply on the portal, there will be a task for that, but we will also need a certificate from your company or companies where you worked in that 3 years, so they can actually certify that you have that 3 years of work experience. Let's hop on the next question. So this one, what determines the type of application exams will I write? I'm from South Africa. So when it comes to entrance exams, it's the same for everyone. So we do not differentiate countries, nationalities, scholarships, self-funded. It will be the same for everyone. You will have to sit an interview, as I mentioned before. Okay. Here's another one. Are there flexible study options such as part-time or evening classes to balance work and study? So Miklos mentioned this briefly, that how much time you have to work or anything. I think I would like to ask maybe our students to talk about their experience if they are able to work next to their studies, because they study on the two-year program, how their schedule looks like in general. So I will pull you in, guys.
Okay. Yeah, we see the question about are we allowed to work and study in the 2 years program? First of all, after experience is gonna be a full program for you, and also there's availability to work. Most of the students actually do work in maybe a coffee shops or like a side job part time when you have the available time. Regarding the MBA program, you can work, of course, if you have the legit papers and all the cards that you have. Of course, you can work, and sometimes you can do some remotely works with the companies within Hungary, Europe, and if you have your previous job, if you maintain and manage the MBA program with the work online, yes, you can. You can actually work.
Yeah, I think if I can just add, it comes down to time management. The MBA should be your main priority, and it will take up a lot of your time. And it will need you to be 100% present, not only just physically in class, but mentally as well. Of course, you're here to get the whole benefits of an MBA, but there is opportunity to work. As Elias mentioned, some of our colleagues work on part-time, mainly online, but yeah, it's time management.
Thank you, guys. Also, Miklos, I assume you have some words related to this question.
I agree with students, of course, that some of them who are very good in their studies, making a good progress, and they have
Sorry, Miklos, you can.
Okay, can I talk? Okay, so some of the students who are very good and they have an opportunity to work, as Elias mentioned, in a coffee shop or some other flexible employers, some work, it's fine. Some of them only do this in the second year when they have more local experience. But the question is like, is there formally a part-time study or an evening study opportunity? We do have executive MBA when you only need to come on certain weekends for study. It has higher fees involved, much higher than for the full-time MBA, and it doesn't give you a visa because of its part-time nature. So to get a visa in Hungary and Europe, you need to study full-time. And of course, the tuition fee is lower because studying full-time means you cannot have a full-time job parallel to our program. So this is just to clarify. The answer is yes, but of course, it's not a full-time program anymore if you study part-time or in the evening. I give the word back to Vicky.
Thank you. So okay, I think it's all good now. I put in another similar question: that do the programs accept distance learning? All of our, the full-time MBA and the international MBA, they are on campus. As Miklos mentioned, we have the executive MBA, which is not distance learning. You also have to show up at Corvinus. Of course, it's not, it's like once a month and you don't get a student visa, but we don't have this distance learning option right now. Another question is related to language certificates. So on Corvinus side, we do not require IELTS, TOEFL, any language certificates. You only have to see this interview where the admission board will assess your language skills. Of course, it can happen that if you apply for Stipendium Hungaricum, your country will ask for an IELTS certificate, but that's different from Corvinus itself. Let's see. I think this is also a question maybe that Miklos can also help out. For the MBA one-year program, we should submit only the bachelor or all the past years that we studied. What do you look at, Miklos, when checking applications like that?
So there's a minimum number of credits you need to prove you have studied during your bachelor or even master's if you had a master's degree before. This means relevant credits, right? So if you're an engineer, only some of your credits that you had in your engineering degree are relevant. And the same goes if you have any other like social studies, which is only partly relevant. But other than those credits, we are interested in your work experience, how relevant this is, how many years you have. 3 years is the minimum, but most of our students have more, right? So, of course, it's an advantage if you have more, and relevant means like business or management related. So if you work in a coffee shop, as Elias mentioned, if you're just cleaning the tables, this is not relevant for us. But if you make some calculations about clients, how much they consume, how this can be improved, how can you upsell to the customers, so this is more like business and management related a job. And if you can prove that you did something like that, even in a coffee shop, it's already relevant to us. You just need to be careful what you show to us. And of course, as Vicky previously mentioned, that you can prove it maybe by a letter of your previous employer or any other way that you can prove that.
Thank you, Miklos. The other question is related to the scholarship application. If you get rejected, can you reapply for the next semester? So if you applied to the scholarship for the upcoming academic year and you got rejected, you still have an option to apply as self-funded students if you're able to finance your studies until end of April. If you are not able and you really want to rely on the scholarship, you can reapply for the 2026-2027 academic year. Of course, it's important to check the reason behind your rejection. Maybe it's something that you can't improve in. Maybe it's something that you just missed. But the option is there. Another question related to work, more like after the studies. Do we get work permit after the completion of the degree? No one gets a work permit. If you finish a degree in Hungary, you will get a degree. There will be a job-seeking visa that you can apply to and look for jobs in Budapest. Having a work permit is a bit more complicated than that. It takes a few months to go through that process, and you have to find a company who is willing to employ you. So we are not giving out any permit or anything like that. What we can help as a university, if you connect you and have your network at companies, as you could heard, we have a nice relationship with corporate partners. Student goes to field trips, so make sure to build out really good network. So after your studies, you might have a place to go in Hungary or in the EU or in your at home. Sometimes if you complete your scholarship, you will have to go back to your country as well. So that's also important to look into if it's as a requirement if you are a scholarship student. There's another question about alumni community. And it highlighted the scholarship students. So the Stipendium Hungaricum is a huge program in Hungary. They have an alumni community, like for all programs, not just the MBA program, but I'm sure they have a sub-alumni where you can join. Also, Corvinus itself works really hard right now to have a better alumni community. So even the students that you could meet today, they will be part of this alumni most likely, and there will be great alumni that you can help. I'm sure there's some Facebook group or something that you can join to.
Vicky, can you hear me? So related to the alumni, because of the full-time nature of the program that Elias mentioned, that people come from all over the world and there's a bonding created here. So that's why the alumni community is very responsive if you reach out to somebody, and they are all over the world. So this is actually a very valuable network. As we speak, I'm arranging a next alumni session for the end of March, because the alumni for our full-time MBA program is also setting up a self-governed alumni body that, of course, each and every current student will join as they graduate. So we're in the growth stage of the alumni community, but already have a nice global network you can reach out to.
Thank you. We still have time for a couple of questions, not many. I highlighted a few. So this one is asking about the one-year version instead of the two. So after this stream is over, you can just go and watch back. So we have the full-time MBA, which is 2 years long, and we have the international MBA, which is a shorter version, 1 year long. So yes, there's an opportunity to do this program in 1 year only. Here's a question related to Hungarian while doing the 2 years MBA program. Maybe.
Yeah. Part of the program of the MBA, since of course we are going to be living in Hungary for 2 years, there's a mandatory Hungarian classes you will be attending at the first and second semester. And from my experience till now, it's so good. I'm really improving my Hungarian while I go to the grocery shops and I go to interact with the Hungarian people. So yeah, it is. There's going to be the first year, which is the 2 semesters, is going to be a mandatory Hungarian course you're going to take with the MBA program. Yeah.
Thank you. I think this will be one of the last questions right now. Maybe it's more for Miklos. If I didn't have 3 years experience, it would be difficult for me to get into an MBA.
Yeah, the MBA, as I briefly referred to, is a post-experience master's degree. So all over the world, if you want to apply for an MBA program, you must have experience already. In our case, it's minimum 3 years. And if you only have 1 or 2 years, then maybe gain some more experience and then you can apply to MBA. If you don't want to wait another 1 or 2 years to strengthen your work experience background, then you can apply for a master's degree at Corvinus or somewhere else, which is like a pre-experience master's. It's certainly not an MBA, but other master's programs. So these are the options for you.
Thank you. So with this question, I would like to close our session about the MBA programs. Thank you for everyone, our guests, for participating, helping to see through this program structure, to get an insight into Budapest life and Hungarian life as well. I'm glad that our guests, our students, enjoying it so far. I wish you best in the upcoming academic year when you finish. Also, thank you, Miklos, to give us this insight about the new program. I hope many of you will consider this 1 year international MBA, because it's a great opportunity if you want to shorten your studies, because you have more experience from the past. So if you have any questions or we didn't have time to answer your questions in the chat, here you can see our email address again. If you missed the beginning, just after the end, you can watch back. It's recorded, this stream. So, and again, if you have any questions, you can find us via email. Thank you again, and I wish everyone the best. I hope I can see some of you who participated on this stream in September or the following September. Thank you.